Hotep. Hey, this is Michael Imhotep, founder of the African History Network, host of the African History Network show. I'm a talk show host, researcher, lecturer, and writer. It is Thursday, April 25th, 2019, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing well. So share this broadcast on your Facebook page. Invite your friends to tune in also. And let me share this broadcast also. Okay, so I want to deal with this story coming out of Houston, Texas. And I've shared a few articles dealing with this story on our Facebook fan pages. I've seen a lot of comments about the story. I've seen a lot of news outlets pick this up as well. And this deals with the James Madison High School in Houston, Texas, and the new principal at the school, Principal Carlotta Otley Brown. And what she has done is instituted a dress code for the parents coming to the school to pick up children, coming to the school for any reason, coming into the school, and then also at school events off campus. All right. So let me share this information here. And I want to deal with this topic, give some background information on this as well. I've looked at a number of different sources for this story, including the Houston Chronicle. The Houston Chronicle was the outlet that had one of the first articles about this. And then also KRTK in Houston as well. They had one of the first stories. This actually goes back to an incident that took place April 8th at the school, okay? All right, so let me monitor the sound as well. How you doing, Godfrey? How's everybody doing? Share this broadcast on your Facebook page. African-American business owners, post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast. Also, we'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network on the podcast of our shows as well. And we have two new sponsors also, darkmagentas.com and theprofitroom.com. So you hear about that as well. How you doing, Angie and David? Just a few of the people watching us. Okay, so WashingtonPost.com and thegrill.com have good articles dealing with this. Also, the Houston Chronicle as well. So what happened was April 8th, 2019, you had a parent named Jocelyn, what's her name? Jocelyn Lewis. You had a parent named Jocelyn Lewis who tried to enroll her child at this school, at the James Madison High School in Houston, Texas. And Jocelyn Lewis had a scarf on her head. She said she was getting her hair done. And also she was wearing a Marilyn Monroe t-shirt, but it was a longer t-shirt. And it was kind of looking like a skirt, but it was not a skirt, okay? Now, the KTRK has a picture of her. I'm going to post a link here. I don't want to show her picture because I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to make fun of her, okay? This was a parent trying to enroll her child at school, and something emanated from this, and now her picture is out there. So we'll post a link here, but I don't want to put her picture in the broadcast and then end up on our YouTube broadcast, etc. Okay, but she has a scarf around her head. She says she was getting her hair done, and she's wearing this this t-shirt, this t-shirt, but it looks like a very short miniskirt. Okay, so what happened was, and if we look at the article from we look at the article from Click to Houston .com, mother claims she wasn't allowed to enroll daughter in school due to outfit, okay? And this is from April 8th, 2019. This is the day the incident took place. The dress code that Principal Carlotta Outley Brown is going to institute came the next day, okay, because of this incident here. All right. And let me post this here. African American business owners, post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast, and email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. We'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network. Okay, so if we look at this article from click2houston.com, it says the mother of a high school student claims she could not register her daughter for class because of her outfit, because of the parent's outfit, okay? Jocelyn Lewis wore a t-shirt dress of Marilyn Monroe and a headscarf to enroll her daughter at James Madison High School, but said she was not allowed on the property. Now, Jocelyn Lewis said at first she thought an administrator mistook her for a student and explained that she was a parent and registering her child, okay? Now okay, I'm not even supposed to say that. All right, never mind. Okay, but she went on to say, quote, Jocelyn Lewis said, quote, she went on to say that she still couldn't let me on the premises because I was not in dress code and I still didn't understand what that meant. She said that my headscarf was out of dress code and my dress was too short, okay? So, and actually she's wearing a t-shirt, all right? Now, this deals with a wide range of issues. Some people say it's classism. No, it's not classism. This deals with having standards, okay? This deals with having standards. And unfortunately, what happens is that when you have, in general, I'm not saying specifically, but in general, when low self-esteem breeds about yields low standards. Low standards yields low expectations. Low expectations yields low results. Okay, so some people say, "Oh well, this is a class issue," and the principal, she thinks she may be better than other people, or the principal may have money to get her hair done, etc. But no, if we go back and look at our history, most of the time that if we look at after slavery, we look at our history, we go into the 1910s, 20s, 30s, we have a history of being poor. African Americans have a history of being poor, okay? But there was still a dignity. There was still a pride that we had about ourselves, where we understood, for the most part, in general, we understood that we may be in poverty, but poverty does not have to live in us. Okay, so there were standards that we had, and some of the things that were banned at this school for parents were wearing pajamas to school, wearing hair rollers, leggings that exposed leggings that expose the buttocks, or certain other items of clothing, including bonnets. Women wearing bonnets on their head. I think they're just talking about women wearing bonnets, okay? But these are all things that should be common sense. These are all things that should be common sense. And I'm going to actually read to you the letter that the principal sent to parents, okay? Any revealing top where breasts are exposed, dresses that are quote up to your quote unquote up to your behind would not be permitted on the premises or in the building, according to the notice. Leggings that show quote your bottom and where your body is not covered from the front or the back, end quote, are prohibited. Pajamas of any kind, okay? So, if you think back to when you were a child and your parent came to school, okay, would you want your mother coming to school with rollers in her hair and her head wrapped? Would you want your parent coming to school wearing pajamas? Okay, so what the principal is trying to do is set standards, not just for the students, but standards for the parents. And she lays all this out in the letter. She talks about how we have standards. Most of all, we must have high standards. We are preparing your child for a prosperous future. Okay. So I'm just giving you some background information here because some of the articles I read did not give this background information. Okay, so Jocelyn Lewis, who is the parent enrolling her daughter at the school, said that due to bullying, she took her daughter out of a previous school. Her daughter's 15 years old, took her out of Lamar High School let's see, due to bullying, she unenrolled her 15-year-old daughter from Lamar High School on Monday morning and intended to instead enroll her at James Madison High School. Okay, now, because it appears, if I understand all this correctly, I don't think she had another child at James Madison High School, so this may be her first time going to this school. At the time, the rules that they had for the attire of parents, she was not aware of that. So with that being the case, and she's trying to enroll her daughter in this school, I would make an exception for her because this is her first time being exposed to these rules. Okay, but I will let her know, in the future, how you're expected to dress. Okay, but at this point, this was April 8th. Okay, this was April 8th. And on the website, on the school's website, the dress code was not there. The principal is going to send a letter to parents the next day, April 9th, because of this incident. Okay, so I'm just giving you some background information, so bear with me. All right, so Jocelyn Lewis said, quote, when I went to Lamar High School, I had no problems. But when I got to Madison High School, they refused me access to the premises because of what I had on. I mean, I don't understand why my headscarf and my dress would conflict with me enrolling someone in school, end quote, okay? And just to her defense, if we look at the article from the Washington Post, a high school's new dress code bans leggings, pajamas, and silk bonnets for parents. In this article, it talked about how she was in the process of getting her hair done. Okay. Now I don't know why she had on a t-shirt wearing it like it was a skirt. I don't know why she's doing that, but okay. All right. And then let me post this article here because I don't want to put a picture out here because she's probably suffered enough humiliation. So I don't want to. We'll post the article here on the thread of the broadcast, but I don't want to put her picture in this video, and it's going to be on YouTube, etc. Okay. All right, so let's continue here. And the name of the article from Washington Post: high school's new dress code bans leggings, pajamas, and silk bonnets for parents. We'll post this link here for you. Also, read this article because this is a very extensive article from the Washington Post, okay? And if you like this type of information, you want to support the African History Network, you can do it through PayPal. You can donate through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show. We really appreciate your support. We really need your support. That helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, pay the bills, finance our Sunday night show, the African History Network show, as well. Okay, so really need the support. You can also set up for a recurring donation. All right, and African American business owners, we support you as well. Post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast, and we can help you get new business. Also, email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Our current promotion: get 3 months for the price of one. We'll let you know how you can advertise with us. We can get you up and running today. Okay, we can get you up and running today. We have a few more ad spots left as well. All right, so let's continue with this story. I know this, I saw on D.L. Hughley's show, his TV show, they talked about this, and I've seen a number of different articles, but this is a conversation that needs to be had. This deals with standards, this deals with self-esteem, this deals with expectations. This deals with expectations as well, not just for children, but for parents, okay? So let's go back to this article from click2houston.com, and we'll come to some of your comments here in just a minute. We have Teresa, we have LaShonda, Okay. Okay. LaShonda said she saw the picture. It did look like she had on sleepwear. Yes, it did. It did look like she had on sleepwear. And I'm sorry, I don't know how she could be confused with a student. I'm sorry. Okay, but I'm just saying. Okay, but I don't mean any disrespect. Okay. All right. So the teen's mother says she's in the process of getting her hair done. Okay, and didn't want to wear it out. All right. And this is from click2houston.com as well. She said, quote, "I'm not saying that it's part of my religion, but it could have been, but I just wanted to have it up. Who are you to say that I can't wear my hair up in a scarf? Who are you to tell me how to dress?" All right. Now, for those that is part of their religion, women that have their head covered, you can tell a difference between a scarf, like you okay, you can tell the difference between like a scarf wrapped around your head because you're trying to get your hair done, and it's for cultural reasons. Okay, you have hijabs, you have geles. You can tell a difference. All right. Okay, I'm just saying because I know a lot of sisters that do that. You can tell a difference, and they usually don't have rollers like underneath underneath the gele also. Okay. All right. So she went on to say she also said her dress passed the finger length test and was not shorter than her fingers. Okay. All right. Jocelyn Lewis said she was upset at the time and demanded to see the quote unquote parent dress code. She said, "I wanted to see proof of where it says parents can come dressed a certain way, but it wouldn't show me that, okay, or not come dressed a certain way." She said, "I wouldn't leave, so they called the police department. They called them on me, and I guess he was coming to tell me to leave, but I was already on the phone with the school board." Okay, so personally, once again, go back to what I said earlier. I don't think it should have gotten to this point where they had to call the police on her because she was trying to enroll her child at this school. It appears this was her first time at this school. She wasn't aware of the dress code or anything like that. I would have made an exception for her under the circumstances and just explained it to her, okay? The dress code for the parents and why there's a dress code for the parents, all right? She asked to see proof of this dress code. She said they wouldn't provide it for her. They called the police on her. Okay. Now, the population of the school is 58% 58% Hispanic, 40% African American. Okay. I don't know the ethnicity of the people in the school office, the person who actually called the police on her. I don't know whether they were African American or white. I know the principal is African American, and the principal has a track record of success and excellence as well. The principal, Carlotta Utley Brown, was the principal for 14 years at Park Elementary School there in the Houston, Texas area. She is the fourth principal at James Madison High School. She's the fourth principal in 5 years at this high school. Okay, and she's trying to raise the standards. She has a track record at Park Elementary School of them meeting school standards and also exceeding academic standards as well. And she was also honored on the Ellen DeGeneres show back in 2015 when the school received $100,000 from Target as well. So many people remember seeing that on the Ellen show or seeing it on social media as well. Okay, so what she's trying to do is raise the standards of the school, and this school, from my understanding, has a history of not meeting academic standards, etc. Okay, which would kind of explain why this is the fourth principal in 5 years. All right, so just trying to give you some background information. All right, so Jocelyn Lewis said she would. Jocelyn Lewis says she would understand if her behind or chest were even in view, exposed, but said that wasn't the case and she could not see the problem. She said, "I can wear what I want to wear. I don't have to get all dialed up to enroll her in school. My child's education. Let's see, my child's education. I'm checking emails just a second. I'm sorry. My child's education. Anyone's child's education should be more important than what someone has on. That should not matter. Okay. So this was the article from April 8th, 2019. This was the day the incident happened. The following day, April 9th, Principal Carlotta Otley Brown sends out a letter to the parents, okay, to let them know about the dress code. All right, so we are preparing your child for a prosperous future. Carlotta Utley Brown, the principal of James Madison High School, wrote in the letter. We want them to know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate for any setting they might be in. Okay, so let's go to the actual letter. There's another news outlet here that has the actual letter. I pulled it up. Okay, so let's look at this. August 9th, 2019, dear Madison parents and all guests, to prepare our children and let them know daily the appropriate attire they are supposed to wear when entering a building, going somewhere, applying for a job, or visiting someone outside of the home setting. I am going to enforce these guidelines on a daily basis at Madison High School. We are preparing our children for the future, and it begins here. Therefore, no one can enter the building or be on the school premises wearing a satin cap or bonnet on their head for any reason in the building. You also cannot wear a shower cap of any kind in the building, okay? Now, I take it that the reason why they are detailing specific items of clothing and shower caps, things like this, is because this has happened in the past at the school. Okay, and see, once again, this goes to standards. When you have low standards, you have low expectations. When you have low self-esteem, this yields low standards. Low standards yields low expectations. Low expectations yields low results. This doesn't mean that someone is not a good person, but I mean, we used to have standards. You know, when I was growing up, I knew I can't go outside in my pajamas. Okay. You know, and you know, if I was to go on the front porch just to get the paper. Okay. So, you know, I ain't grew up in the 90s. Okay. Or the 2000s, right? Growing up in the 70s, getting the newspaper delivered, Detroit Free Press and Detroit News. You know, my mama have a fit if I step outside in pajamas on. Okay, so and even though we have a history of being poor and impoverished in this country, we still had a dignity about us. We still had standards. So no one can enter the building or the school premises wearing a satin cap or bonnet. You cannot wear a shower cap of any kind in the building. Hair rollers would not be permitted in the building. Pajamas of any kind would not be permitted in the building, along with house shoes or any other attire that could possibly be pajamas, underwear, or home setting wear, such as flannel pajamas. Now, I mean, once again, this goes back to standards. Why are you outside walking around with house shoes on? Those are for the house. Not only that, you're bringing germs from the outside inside your house, walking around. I mean, these are things that really should be common sense, right? But keep in mind, this is a principal who's trying to take the school to the next level, trying to take the academic achievement of the students to the next level and setting standards. Jeans that are torn from your buttocks to all the way down, showing lots of skin, will not be permitted in the building or the premises. Leggings that are showing your bottom and where your body is not covered from the front or the back rear will not be permitted in the building and on the premises, okay? And you know what? I could turn the screen share on. I could show you this as well. You got to see this, you know. Now, personally, I think you're going to have some other schools that institute this as well. Okay, because if you talk to any teachers, and I know a lot of teachers, you talk to any teachers, for some of them, they'll tell you at their school, this is the problem. Okay, it depends upon the where the school is, the economic conditions of the surroundings, things like this. But for many of them, they'll tell you this is a problem. Okay. I don't think the principal decided to do this because she was sitting around one day and said, we don't have anything better to do. No, there's a reason for this. Okay. All right, let's continue. Leggings that are showing your bottom and where your body is not covered from the front or the back. Okay. Very low cut tops or revealing tops that you can see your bust, your breasts, will not be permitted in the building or on the premises. Sagging pants, shorts, jeans will not be permitted in the building and on the premises. So she's saying sagging pants, sagging shorts, sagging jeans. She's not saying you can't wear jeans, okay? Sagging pants, sagging shorts, sagging jeans. These are for the parents. So if you are grown as adult with a child in school, why are you going to your child's school with your pants sagging? Once again, this goes back to standards, expectations, self-esteem, self-respect. And see, I remember when I was a kid, my parents told me, when you go outside this house, you are a representation of the family. Okay, don't go out here making this family look like a fool. Don't go out here embarrassing the family's name. These are things I was taught when I was a child. So do people still teach this to their kids today? These are things that we need to institute. And my parents weren't African-centered. They just had home training. My parents were not African-centered. They just had home training. Okay? All right. So sagging pants, shorts, jeans. Men wearing undershirts will not be permitted in the building. Short shorts that are up to your behind will not be permitted on the premises and in the building. Daisy Dukes, okay? So this is I could tell the sisters from went to college probably in the 90s, okay? Daisy Dukes and lowrider shorts will not be permitted on the premises and in the building, okay? Dresses that are up to your behind would not be permitted on the premises or in the building, or any attire that is totally unacceptable for the school setting. Now, the reason why they probably did this is probably because this happened in the past. Please know, okay, she concludes it with, please know that if you break our school rules, policies, or do not follow one of these rules, you will not be permitted inside the school until you return appropriately dressed for the school setting. Parents, we do value you as a partner in your child's education. Okay, let me turn the screen share off. All right. Okay, parents, we do value you. We do value you as a partner in your school, in your child's education. You are your child's first teacher. You are your child's first teacher. And I would have on originally I was going to wear my shirt that has all the pictures of the different African American women and African women on it, but it's a short sleeve shirt and it's cold here in Detroit, so I had to wear a long sleeve shirt. I was going to wear it because the mother is the first teacher of the child. This is not saying the fathers are not teachers also, but the primary teacher of the child is the mother, and no nation can rise higher than the conscious level of his women. No nation can rise higher than the conscious level of his women. So I'm not attacking African American women. What I'm saying is that they have a big influence on the children. This is why we have to have standards. Okay. And once again, keep in mind, this school is 58%, the student body at the school is 58% Hispanic, 40% African American. Okay, so she said, parents, we do value you as a partner in your child's education. You are your child's first teacher. However, please know we have to have standards. Most of all, we must have high standards. We are preparing your child for a prosperous future. We want them to know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate for any setting they may be in. This is a professional educational environment where we are teaching our children what is right and what is correct or not correct. We value you, but we must ask you to value and follow the rules of the school environment. This guideline will apply to any or all events that happen inside, outside of Madison's premises. Thanks for understanding and being a partner in your child's or your children's education. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Those signed are Carlotta Brown, James Madison High School, okay? And they have it in Spanish also. The next one is in Spanish, okay? My Spanish is terrible, okay? I took it for 2 years in high school and 2 years in college, and that was a waste of money. All right, so, okay. But I remember local community college here in Detroit. I was talking to one of the administrators there, and they were talking about the graduation that took place at the community college. And the graduation was held at, I think, at Cobo Arena, Cobo Center in downtown Detroit. And they were talking about how people were coming to the graduation, not the students who were graduating, but their family members, friends, coming to the graduation wearing do-rags, sitting there talking on the phone while the commencement exercises are taking place, while the graduation is taking place, things like this, just totally inappropriate things, okay? All right, so you've had a lot of parents who have spoken out in opposition to the dress code. You have some that support it, but a lot of people on social media have been expressing their opinions about it. A lot of people support this dress code. They say you have to have standards, and they understand exactly why. And if there are any teachers here, teachers, I want you to chime in as well, because teachers know exactly what's going on, okay? Teachers know exactly what's going on, and they see it on a daily basis. All right, now, let's continue here. Okay, so some of the people who were expressing outrage here, if we look at the article from blackamericaweb.com, also had an article dealing with this. They picked it up from the Associated Press from April 23rd, 2019. Texas high school principal institutes dress code for parents, okay? So there were a couple of parents who were interviewed by the Houston Chronicle. Tamiko Miller is one of the parents. Tamiko Miller said, "I'm almost insulted. I really think it was discriminatory. The language that was used, it was demeaning, and I'm African American. And if it's misty outside and I have a hair bonnet on, I don't see how that's anyone's business." Okay. I read the entire letter to you. Was that demeaning? It's setting standards. Okay. And if it's misty outside, why wouldn't you just wear a hat as opposed to a hair bonnet? That's something you wear at the bed. The hair bonnet is something you wear to bed. See, once again, we have to have standards. In her letter to parents, okay, so I covered that already. Then also, okay, some people said that the hair coverings that many Black women wear to protect their hair is discriminatory, etc. Okay, all right. What did we do back in the day when your parents went to your school? I mean, did your mother pull her hair back in a ponytail? Did she go to school with rollers in her hair? What happened? Okay, so now Principal Brown was interviewed by the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday, okay, which was April 23rd, I think. And she said parents coming, and she told the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday that the dress code had been necessary because, quote, parents were coming in risque clothes, end quote. In her memo to parents, she explained that she felt it was important to have high standards and to demonstrate to children how they should dress in an educational setting. Okay. Now, I guarantee you, when some of these same parents go to the club Friday night and Saturday night, they don't have a scarf on their head. They're not wearing a bonnet going to the club. When they go to the Frankie Beverly and Mays concert or the New Edition concert, I don't think they're going with a bonnet on. Okay, I think they're going to be dressed appropriately. Okay, so are we to say that the club has higher standards than the standards that you have for yourself when you go outside or when you go to your child's school? Is this what we're saying? Because you can't, because when you go to a nightclub, when you go to a club, they have standards. You can't just run up in there wearing anything, unless it's some clubs. I guess you can, but those are gonna be the clubs where they pat you down. Also, those those are gonna be the clubs they pat you down as well. Those are gonna be the clubs you gotta go through a metal detector, or they're gonna wand you. But a lot of clubs, and I used to manage a club. A lot of clubs have standards. You can't just run up in there wearing any old thing. Okay, so Ashton P. Woods is a candidate for the Houston, Texas City Council and the founder of Black Lives Matter Houston. Ashton P. Woods wrote on Twitter, quote, "This is elitism and respectability politics." Okay, quote, "She should be fired," talking about the principal. "Most of the parents likely cannot afford to comply with this dress code. This is not 1984, end quote. Ashton, I don't know if you studied our history. We've been poor. We've been poor a long time, but we had dignity. Well, Black people have been poor a long time in this country, but there was not a need to institute a dress code for the parents coming to the school because we had a dignity. We had a self-respect about us." And then Zeph Capo, CAPO, the president of the Houston Federation of Teachers, described the rules as classist, quote unquote classist. He said, quote, "I'm sorry, this principal may have plenty of money and time to go to the hairdresser weekly and have her stuff done. Who are you to judge others who may not have the same opportunities that you do? Having a wrap on your head is not offensive. It should not be controversial," end quote. Now, these two people commenting, I don't know if they actually read the letter that the principal sent to the parents. I don't know if they actually read the letter, but we need to have a conversation also about self-esteem, self-respect, standards. When you have low self-esteem, you have low standards. Low standards yields low expectations. Low expectation yields low results. And the principal is trying to raise the standards of the school and have high standards for the children and have the parents who are partners in their child's education, okay, bring have the parents adhere to standards as well. Now, the letter announcing the policy appears to have been sent out one day after a confrontation between the school officials and a parent looking to enroll her child. That was Jocelyn K. Lewis. And Jocelyn K. Lewis told KPRC that she showed up at the campus in a t-shirt dress and a headscarf on April 8th. And she would not be allowed on the premises because of her dress. We talked about that, okay? Once again, because it appears that was her first time there, I think they should have made an exception for her. They ended up calling someone, I don't know who it was, don't know whether it's principal or not, someone ended up calling the police on her when she wouldn't leave and she was demanding to see the policy. It wasn't on their website, so this is why the principal sent this letter out, okay? Okay, let me just go fast here. All right, now another parent. Okay, so at the time, the school had on April 8th, when the incident took place, the school had no parent dress code listed on its website. And Jocelyn Lewis said that administrators refused to show her proof that that dress code existed. When she would not leave, she said they called the police. The school's memo to parents is dated April 9th. Okay. So another parent named Rosemary Young told KTRK, I think there's a news station there in Houston, told KTRK that she rushed to the school on Tuesday after her son broke his arm, only for school officials to hand her a copy of the parent dress code because she was still wearing a satin cap. To her, the rules did not make sense. Okay, now in this situation here, this was Tuesday, April 23rd. In this situation here, this sounds like an emergency. Her son broke her arm. She may have been at home doing her hair. Her son broke her arm. She runs there. She's concerned about her son. In this situation, I'd make an exception for her. Okay? Because if you were at home doing housework or what have you, and if you're about to go get your hair done, you get a call that your son broke his arm, you're wearing a bonnet, you're about to go get your hair done, okay? You run to the child's school, you're not going to do your hair before you go to the child's school. You find out your son broke his arm, so you rush into the school. So in this situation, I would make an exception for her. But she went on to say, and we'll come to some of your comments here in just a minute, so hold on just one second here. Let me go to this article right here. Okay, this one here. I got about 50 tabs open here in Firefox, so just bear with me. Okay, so so Rosemary said, if we come here belligerent, out of control, things of that nature, that's what you have the police for, okay? She told the station KTRK. Well, what I wear should never be an issue. Now, the policy is not without its supporters, and elsewhere in the country, one lawmaker has suggested making parental dress codes mandatory for all schools. Earlier in 2019, Tennessee State Representative Antonio Parkinson, who's a Democrat, introduced legislation that will require all school districts in the state to come up with a parent code of conduct, including a dress code. Quote, there are parents who are showing up at schools in the office with lingerie on, with cheeks hanging out, end quote, he told the Memphis Commercial Appeal. Talk to teachers, they can tell you these stories. Quote, imagine the teasing and the bullying that comes with that, end quote, okay? So, I mean, you're a little kid in school, your mama shows up to school wearing lingerie. Oh my God. Oh man, if you were already getting bullied and your mama shows up wearing lingerie, oh my God. So there's some real issues here. This goes with self-esteem, self-respect, standards, okay? And then let me see. I know the one from let's see, Houston Chronicle had a really good article also, and we'll show you a picture of the principal here. Now, some people talked about the jacket she was wearing, but I mean, it's a colorful jacket, but okay. And all right, so this is Principal Kalada Utley Brown. She was the principal at Peck Elementary School for 14 years. She has a track record. The school that she was previously at hit academic standards frequently. So the elementary school at one point received one of the country's highest academic honors. And as U.S. Department of Education publication noted at the time, that Principal Utley Brown, concerned that parents were showing up in, quote, inappropriately informal dress, end quote, would explain to them that, quote, they may not appear at school so dressed, and firmly turn them away, as she did any parents using inappropriate language on school grounds, end quote. This is what she did at her previous school, okay? This is what she did at Peck Elementary School, where she was for 14 years. She had those standards there as well. Okay. All right. Let's go to some of your comments here. And African American business owners, post the name of your business here on the thread of the broadcast. We'll let you know how you can advertise with the African History Network. Email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. Our current promotion: get 3 months for the price of 1. And we'll promote your business here on our Facebook Live broadcast. We put this on YouTube. Also, your 30-second and 60-second commercial will run in the audio podcast of our shows and our broadcasts throughout the week that are on 8 different podcast platforms: Stitcher, Castbox, iTunes, FM Player, Blog Talk Radio, etc. Email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. We have a few more spots left. Okay. Let's look at some of your comments here. We have Rochelle. Okay, so we have Rochelle, we have Angie. Michael, is subjective depending on the person and authority. There should be room for flexibility, but you have some people that push their authority to the extreme. Okay. And really, these are standards that can be approved by the board. Now, I read somewhere that the principals have flexibility on this. The principals can institute these standards. There have to be some type of standards. There's a reason why she was doing this. There have to be some type of standards. Okay, because some parents are just coming up in there wearing anything. Okay, Wanda said she was right in addressing the dress code for parents. We're in a time where people think that wearing pajamas is okay. Not, and people have no pride in their dress. How they dress on the street is ridiculous. What's happening to dressing with pride, sagging pants, etc. Not to mention how people come in the bank, grocery stores, etc. It's low self-esteem. When you have, see, your thoughts create feelings, your feelings create actions and behaviors, your actions and behaviors create results. So the information that's within your circumference of awareness, okay, influences the way you think, feel, act, and behave. When you have low self-esteem, your low self-esteem is tied to the information that you have about yourself. Okay, what you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. Okay, so when you have low self-esteem, you usually have low standards. Low standards yield low expectations. Low expectations yield low results. So this is what has to be changed. All right. Okay, so we have John. Okay, workingwithjohnray.com. Workingwithjohnray.com. All right. Okay, so we have 2 new sponsors here very quickly. theprofitroom.com. theprofitroom.com. Hey, do you want to learn about the stock market, trading, education? Do you need mentorship when it comes to learning about the stock market, etc.? theprofitroom.com can help you, and they are designed for beginners. Okay, so these are 2 African Americans, as African American male and female, that run this company. Blacknews.com did a great article on them back in 2018. You've seen us post that article here on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network as well. theprofitroom.com teaches individuals how to create generational wealth through trading and investing in the financial markets. Are you interested in how Wall Street works? It is interesting how certain opportunities are not presented to our community, especially when it involves billions of dollars that are being exchanged every day through the stock market. Why should you be left out and not get your piece of the pie, get your piece of the action, so you can move up to a deluxe apartment in the sky like George and Wheezy, right? So theprofitroom.com can help you when it comes to help educate you when it comes to stocks, options, futures, and Forex. Their specialty is in day trading and one-on-one mentorship. Their priority is dealing with capital preservation and risk management. Okay, so visit their website, theprofitroom.com, theprofitroom.com. Let them know you found out about this from the African History Network also. Let's go back to some more of your comments here. Let's see here. All right, and then also if you'd like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show, or you can send it through PayPal, the AHN show @gmail.com. And also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. When you send it through PayPal, use the friends and family option also, okay, if you can. And then we have our 10-course online bundle pack. These are online courses I've done. They're all on demand. It's a 10-course online bundle pack. It includes understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school, understanding the transatlantic slave trade, what they didn't teach you in school, which is a 14-hour, 7-session online course that I teach, and we do a PowerPoint presentation. We have video clips, articles, etc. The 10-course online bundle pack is on sale $40, regularly $130. Watch it from around the world. It's all on demand. Watch at your own pace. All right, so Tran Bailey said that she's going a bit too far. If a parent is called to come to the school, it's mostly an emergency or get there quick situations. Okay, so I said before, if it's an emergency situation, like the one case where the son broke his arm and the mother came to school with a bonnet on, I will make an exception for things like this. But parent-teacher conferences is not an emergency. Okay, so parents are coming to school for all types of reasons, and they're not saying that. Now, this is not talking about dropping your child off at school. You drive up to the school and you drop your child off at school. They're not talking about that. They're talking about coming onto the school premises, coming into the school. Okay, and they also are talking about school events that are off-site. Okay. But if it's an emergency situation, I remember when I was a child, I was at school, 3rd grade. We had gym back in those days. Some schools don't have gym class. And we were playing dodgeball, okay? And I was playing dodgeball. I got pushed and fell on the floor and cut my chin. I had to get stitches, okay? I still have a scar there today. So my mom had to come to the school. Now she had rollers. My mother was a teacher, so she was at school. The school had to call her. She had to rush up to the school, had to take me to the hospital, had to get 7 stitches in my chin. Okay, so emergencies happen. All right. I think as time goes on, I think they may adjust the dress code a little bit, make some exceptions for emergency situations. All right, let's go to some more of your comments here. So post your comments, and then also we'll look at, I want to go back to this article from Houston Chronicle because they talked about the principal's background, okay? And okay, so KPRC TV is channel 2 there in the Houston area. And okay, so Principal Utley Brown took over as James Madison High School's principal midway through the 2nd semester this year. So she's new there, becoming the school's 4th principal in 5 years. That's usually a problem, okay? That usually means there's a problem with the school. She replaced Paolo Castagnoli, who lasted just shy of 1 year on the job. Doesn't sound like that was an African-American principal. Now, Utley Brown previously served as principal of Peck Elementary School, southeast of downtown Houston, for about 14 years. She received widespread media attention in 2015 when her school received $100,000 from Target during a live presentation on the Ellen DeGeneres show. Ellen DeGeneres called Principal Utley Brown an educator who, quote, works 7 days a week, dedicating her life to students who are mostly poor or homeless, end quote. Now, Peck Elementary School, her previous school, where she was 14 years, Peck Elementary School routinely met state academic standards during her tenure, occasionally earning distinctions awarded to schools performing above average compared with campuses with similar student demographics. Peck Elementary School scored an 80 on last year's 2018 state academic accountability rating system, slightly below the district's average of 84. In 2008, a 2008 profile of Peck Elementary School, following its recognition as a national blue ribbon school, one of the country's highest academic honors, a U.S. Department of Education publication noted that Principal Utley Brown's approach to parent clothing, okay, and they talked about there, because so she had standards when she was at Peck Elementary School. She had standards for parents' dress coming to the school there. And she had great success with the academic achievement in general for Peck Elementary School. She's bringing those standards here to this high school. Keep in mind, when these students graduate from high school, they go out into the real world. Quote, early in Principal Brown's tenure, some parents showed up at school in inappropriately informal dress. The article from the U.S. Department of Education stated, the U.S. Department of Education publication, this article stated, quote, she took these parents in hand and explained that they may not appear at school so dressed and firmly turned them away. And she did, as she did any parents using inappropriate language on school grounds, end quote. Okay, so she has a track record of having high standards. Let's go back to some of your comments here. Okay, we've got Harold. Let's get Harold's comment in also. He said we can't create edicts and rules for parents in regards to how they should dress. However, it's nothing wrong with creating a dialogue with parents regarding the above. We have to talk to each other instead of at each other. Well, she, based upon the school district, the principals can set those standards. She's well within her right to do that based upon the school district's guidelines. She's well within her right to do that. There may be some type, I don't know if they've had some type of form about this with the parents, but sending the letter home to the parents, I think possibly could help explain what it is that she's trying to do. Okay, let's see here. All right. So be sure to email us, post name your business here and email us at customerservice@africanhistorynetwork.com. And then our second new advertiser is darkmagentas.com. Now, ladies, you're going to love this. And Mother's Day is coming up. Darkmagentas.com allows you to indulge in treats for your body and mind, dealing with essential oils and cannabidiol. Now, Dark Magenta specializes in creating home spa products based on nature's healing and soothing properties. Dark Magenta carries essential oils and cannabidiol infused bath bombs, shower steamers, sugar scrubs, and soaps. They include oils and herbs such as lavender, rosemary, eucalyptus, sage, cedarwood, oatmeal, shea butter, cannabidiol, and more. They also carry oil diffusers and 100% pure essential oils. Visit their website, darkmagentas.com, darkmagentas.com, MAGENTAS, and let them know you found out about this from the African History Network, okay? And place your order at darkmagentas.com. Get something for Mother's Day as well. And coming up Saturday, April 27th, 2019. Now, you've seen the flyer we posted here on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network, about this. Subscribe to our page. Follow us on our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, IMHOTEP. A parental, the second annual Mary Got Boldo Forum for Parental Rights is coming up Saturday, April 27th, 2019 in Detroit, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is involved in letting parents know what their rights are when it comes to dealing with raising their children, etc. Okay, this is taking place at Hartford Memorial Baptist Church, located at 18700 James Cousins Freeway, Detroit, Michigan. This is part of the social justice ministry. It's free and open to the public. All are welcome. You can give a free will donation. They are accepting free will donations. Okay, know your rights, change the law. Registration is 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and there'll be a continental breakfast, also hot lunches provided. Please RSVP for food preparation. Call 313-867-7707, 313-867-7707, okay? To RSVP for the food preparation so they know how much food to prepare. I guess I need to call also. I sent them an email, let them know I'll be there, but I'll call. I'll call as well, okay? But this is going to feature speakers, poets, drummers, and dancers. Guest speakers include attorney Allison Fomar. There'll be a open forum question and answer session. There'll be family judges there as well. There'll be a resource room. There'll be a babysitting service there also. Learn about the rights of parents, grandparents, and families for legal and medical issues. There'll be a youth track is there, a youth track also. So there'll be things for youth as well. For more information, call 313-717-0521. 313-717-0521. Visit their website, Justice, the number 4, Maryanne, Maryanne. We'll post it here. We have it. So we'll post it here. justiceformaryanne.org, justiceformaryanne.org. Okay. And let me see. I got the information here. So we'll post this here on the thread of the broadcast also. Okay. So this is a free event. Come on out, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., Saturday, April 27th. It's going to be a great time. You're going to learn a lot of information here dealing with parental rights also. Okay, and we'll put this on our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All right. Okay, guys, look, hey, we have to get out of here. Remember, visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. All of my DVD lectures are there. We have a recommended reading list of books. Listen to the African History Network show Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, WFDF. We broadcast here on Facebook also when we do the show live. You can register for the online courses that I teach. They're all on demand. Watch around the world. Watch as many times as you want. We have the 10-course online bundle pack. It's on sale $40. African-American business owners, email us. We can let you know how you can advertise with us as well. Okay, so you can gain new customers also. Remember, at the African History Network, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right now it's corrects wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. Right now it's corrects wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.